All right, there it is. We're on. So I'm here with John,
Howdy all.
aka ZD351. Is that
Yeah,
right?
351. Yep.
What does that name mean? Where does that come
Uh,
from?
I used to have an old 1971 Fairlane, and they were designated the ZD. So,
Okay,
and the
cool.
351's just the Ford motor displacement. So choosing choosing a Hotmail address all those years ago?
Yeah. I was lucky I just used my name back in like 11 or 12 years ago. It was just, I couldn't think of anything creative or weird. So I was like, that'll do.
I was the same, man. Like back in the day when you used to have to get your month's free internet from the CD that was stuck on the front of the magazine or
Yeah.
something, and every month we'd get a different free trial. I
Yeah,
needed
man.
an email address to drag along. But yeah, all the good names are already taken.
Yeah, man. I don't miss the dial-up days. That was shocking. All right, so we've got Nick in the States. Welcome, man. Gas and Bullets, Quinton, James, R2, R3. How you doing? We've got Landon 27 Music. See if you can get on in 30 minutes or so. No worries, man. So we'll probably go till about 12 my time. So it's 10:30 here, give or take. No pressure, time pressure or anything. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I've just sent the email out, so everyone who's on the list should hopefully get that. I had a couple bounce actually for the first time today, so maybe those email accounts have been disconnected or something, but or unblocked, one or the other. All
I don't
right,
know why
cool.
it comes through to my spam account, and I've like got rid of all the filters, so everything should just go straight to my inbox.
It's
But
probably because the list is so long. Maybe it
yeah,
just Hotmail sees it as spam. I'm not too sure what the deal is, but basically, I think there's like 50 people on that email list. So maybe I got to find another way of doing it. I mean, I BCC in everybody, right? I don't CC
yeah,
everybody. Maybe that's part of the problem. Who knows? I just like to make sure people don't see everyone else's, details and stuff. It's just
yeah.
all right. So you're going to be doing some donuts on camera today. I heard, mate. You're going to be
I just had a couple of croissants actually.
yeah.
Just
It's
like,
breakfast for me.
that stuff's gonna kill you, man.
I know. It's not good. Oh well, it's my only vice or whatever. It's the only thing that I enjoy it way too much to give it up.
Fair enough.
All right, we've got Kleber from Brazil. How you doing? Sonia from West Texas. Welcome. So for those who don't know what this stream is, if you're new to the channel, essentially this is basically like a hangout between subscribers, and if you want to jump on and have a chat to me and everyone else, you can email me. I put all the information in the description. Craig from Jacksonville, Florida. Cool. Jacksonville's a great part of the country. I enjoy that. What's your opinion of the Epiphone limited edition Rivera P93? I have no idea. I haven't seen that, to be honest, so I apologize. But Epiphone limited edition Rivera. So I take it that's an amp. Must be, because Rivera. I don't think Rivera have ever made guitars. They've only made amps. And to be honest, like I don't know if you've ever tried Rivera amps, John, but I'm not overly convinced they're that good. I don't think the guy's a bad engineer, but I just think they sound kind of bland. I don't know if you've ever.
I've got to confess, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, Rivera used to make amps, or he used to mod amps for Fender years ago, and then he started his own business. But yeah, my friend had a 212 Rivera. Supposedly, like the clean channel is supposed to be kind of like a Fender, and the dirty channel is supposed to sort of be like a Marshall, but it doesn't really, to my ear anyway, on that specific model that I'm familiar with, I didn't think it did either that well. But
Yeah.
a lot of people swear by their smaller, like single 12 amps, which is supposed to be good. So who knows? There's so many amps out there. I always say to people, like, you heard me say this a million times, but go play it and see if you like it. Then that sort of tells you if it's any good. Because
Again,
yeah.
even when you're talking either an amp or a guitar, and it's just one part in the chain, hands included.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
what might not work for one person might be stellar for someone else. So
When I bought my first valve amp, it came down to essentially my friend who played it and who was a fantastic player. And I never made it sound like that for about six years because he just, it was in his hands, man.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Epiphones, I spied on eBay the other night. Someone's got a lefty casino up.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
What, in Australia?
Yeah, it's actually not too far from where I am. It's in Sydney.
Oh, okay. I'll have a quick look while we're while we're chatting. That's cool. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, far out. They don't show up.
Yeah, I know that you said a while ago that you'd never seen one, but you're always on the look for it.
Yeah, I wonder what year this is. This one doesn't have any information.
Because we don't know if it's an old one or just some sort of reissue. Who knows?
Yeah, I might have to send this guy a quick message later on. And yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate it. I've been looking for one of these for ages. A friend of mine had one years ago, and they stopped making lefties quite some time back, and they're really, really good sounding. Actually, I'll share this with everybody and see what's going on. Here we go.
Actually, I should have told you privately. We're going to make the bidding go up now.
That's all right. That's kind of like it's getting to the price that I'd pay for one. I don't know if I'd pay too much more than $700. I know they're hard to find, but yeah, far out. Cool. I'll definitely.
There's no clues in the photo either. There's just the label inside doesn't say much.
No. I'll send him a message and ask. He might have picked it up from back. Either he might have got it locally, or he might have picked it up from overseas. Because I do see him come out of Japan, or there's still a few used ones that pop up from over there. I don't know if they were just easily available over there or what. But all right. So Bill says, "How do I like the Kemper? Is it time to?" Oh, the chat just scrolled. So the Kemper's good. I think it's good at what it does. It looks crazy in some of the videos because my frame rate on my guitars make the lights blink funny, but it's actually not blinking like that. So, hey, Nick.
That was my favorite part of it.
What's happening, gents?
Hey, Nick.
Oh, hey, man.
What's going on? I'm hiding on my nightstand on the side of my bed as far away from my children who've decided to go absolutely bananas. So we'll see how long I can successfully hide and join from here.
Oh, no worries, man. Thanks for dropping in. We thought you might have fallen off the face of the earth a while back, and no one had heard from you for ages.
I was like, it's only been like 4 weeks since my last video. I'm like, it's been 2 months. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That happens. But wintertime, it's a long winter this year. For some reason, it just kind of got me in a funk and life and some health stuff. So, yeah. But now I'm back in the swing of things, so it's fun.
Cool.
And in typical Nick style, I got not one but 2 amps showed up in my office today, so that was also quick.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Do you want to let the cat out of the bag, or are we saving that for?
No. So I got the DSL-20 head from Marshall.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
What a cool, neat, very capable. The fact that it's got both resonance and you get the DSL-40, right? I watched your video.
So good, man.
That was one of that slightest of breeze from Australia that pushed me off my littlest of small amounts of resistance. But I bought that, and then I got a Marshall JTM 30, which is like a mid-90s all-tube 1x12 combo.
Yeah, nice.
The funny thing is, it's a very, very similar personality to the little DSL-20. They're very, very similar amps. But it's a lot of fun. So it's happy amp day. It's good times.
Oh, well done. Yeah, the 20 heads are great. Just an awesome sounding amp. So I haven't tried the other one that you mentioned, the JTM one, but
they were from a while back. They're really cool. They got a bit of a bad rap for overheating because the tubes, instead of being mounted straight up and down, kind of come out underneath where the board is, or the wiring is above it, so they don't hang down and cool. So people that gig them put a fan on them, and then they're fine. But it's okay. I don't usually get the joy of playing for much more than 45 minutes for an hour before someone kicks me off my amps at the house. So
yeah, probably just don't have it too close to the wall. Give it a bit of ventilation.
Get some air behind it too.
Should be fine. Like I noticed the guy from Fuchs, I don't know his first name, but the dude who owns that company posted a video of some older Marshall amp where if you I think it was a DSL from not the new one, but like going back a few years. that heated up so much that the transformer shifts
Really?
or shifted. Yeah, I was like, how does that even happen? Like, he had a million people asking him questions about it, but yeah, he didn't reply to anybody. He just said, "Oh, I got to fix this drifting transformer." At least that's what he said. I've never heard that term before. So
that's funky.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Nuts, man.
Yeah, but yeah, welcome back, man. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, it's good to jump on. It's a good thing.
Yeah, the last time I was thinking, geez, Nick hasn't been around for a while. Your Star Wars character video popped up.
I was like, I need to put out a video, and that was it. It was a fun video, but like nobody watched it. I was like, oh well, whatever. I had fun. The people that did really seemed to enjoy it, but it did like maybe 400 views. It was pretty small, but I had a blast doing it because I was like, oh, and it just was one of those like over lunch, you're talking to the guys at your lunch table, the two guys I know that play guitar, and I was like, I could have some fun with this, you know. Other people had some awesome stuff that I didn't even think of. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
Good time.
Yeah, it was a good video. I don't know if I actually commented on it or not. I mean, like, I watch videos, but I don't tend to comment as much as I used to, just because I'm always replying to stuff, and it's been crazy.
Yeah, I'm more of a drive-by now too. It's not as it's definitely not as much. It's tough to keep up with everything.
Yeah,
Steve.
That's it.
Hey, Steve.
He's got the loudest top in the chat. He's just
I know, right? He's bringing the Under Armour. I like it.
Put some headphones on that top.
Yeah, really, huh?
There we go. I didn't think you had audio for a second there, but you do. That's all right.
Just being uncharacteristically quiet.
Cool. So, yeah, that Marshall amp, Nick, is easily my favorite amp that I've got. It's awesome. I played a festival with it the other week. One pedal, wah pedal. That was it.
It's all you need.
Channel switcher. It was so good.
And like that, the presence and the resonance knobs, you can just tweak just a little bit. And you're like, oh, there it is. That's perfect for what I want to. It was really super flexible. And the fact that they don't nerf the controls, so from the 20 to the 40, used to be like the DSL 15 was like one channel and no reverb and no anything, where they realized that the market for like the 20 versus the 40, they're just super flexible amps. And the reverb's good enough, right? Like it may not be the best reverb on the planet, but it's a nice little verb.
That's exactly how I feel about it. At least in the 40, I can't really. I've tried the 20, but I can't remember exactly. But I have to pretty much turn the reverb all the way up on this amp to hear it. It doesn't have. It's not like a Fender where you can get it to 2 or 3 and you're done. The Marshall is literally like I got to turn one. It's got 2 controls. The Classic goes all the way up, and the Ultra goes 3/4 of the way up. Otherwise, you can't hear it at all. So, yeah, it's an interesting sort of. I don't mind it. It's great sounding reverb, but it's really subtle. It's almost like understated, I think, to some extent.
I think Marshall did that because, especially on the Drive channel, I read an interview with it, and they're like, you need to have that big sweep just to get to where, because nobody goes past 5 on a Fender. I don't know. Like it's so much, unless you're doing surf, Dick Dale stuff. So I think they were like, to get the tweak, especially with chunk and whatever, when you want to add just a little bit, at least you can go between 1 and 2 instead of like nudging it with your fingernail on a Fender sometimes. So that was what somebody said. Jamal.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Twice in a day.
Not much. Yeah, I know. I was actually off today.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually took a day off.
You're not doing a 16 or 20-hour day today, man. What's going on?
No, that's tomorrow. I'm doing a 16.
Oh, nice.
Excuse me.
How much do you sleep? Like, anytime I do like a video, you're arguably one of the first guys that I see comment, and I'm like, it's got to be really, really early in the morning then.
Well, I got to be at work at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, so okay, that explains pretty much everything.
I usually get up around. I try to get up around 2:30 and leave about 3:30. So I guess you flip that time period. That's probably about the time you might be getting on or putting something on. I think we're now about 16 hours ahead. You're 16 hours ahead of us here in Houston. So I got that. I guess it just works out that way.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's. I wanted like if you slept. That was the question.
Barely. When I do doubles and like back to back, I get a little nap here and there. You know, sometimes.
How was the Guitar Center? Was it the Chapman
really
Guitar?
I got there. It was nice. I got there about 2:00, and it didn't start till 4, I believe. So everybody's just kind of standing around, And I guess seemed kind of unorganized because they had everything as normal. And then right about 3-ish, Chapman and Rabia kind of walked through there, I don't know, just to kind of survey where they're going to do their little presentation. And all the employees start moving everything around and putting chairs around. Of course, immediately the chairs they filled up. I stood there literally from about 2 to 7 o'clock. So by the time I actually went up and when they were doing a little meet and greet, by the time I was fortunate to where I was standing at, and they started the line for the little handshake and picture thing. I was right in the front, so because it was pretty much almost out the store. But they were really cool guys. It was funny because they set up Rabia's gear. He had a little Friedman amp head and a little small cabinet, and Rob had a big old Soldado head and a 4x12 cabinet next to it. I mean, and I guess the effects loop for the Friedman didn't work because Rabia was sitting there messing around with it. Didn't quite get the sound he wanted with it. And, Chapman's was fine. And then he ended up switching to a Katana, the new one. Was it the Artist, I believe?
Yeah.
And, he pulled out a real good sound out of that thing.
Yeah, they're good amps.
Really good sound. But, they were pretty cool guys, It was pretty down to earth, They were nice.
Cool.
I mean, they had like 4 or 5 Chapman guitars they were trying to sell. They sold all of them except for the V, because I think that was about 1,000. And I told them, I was like, look, if you had a lefty, I might would have bought it, but you don't have a lefty, so.
That was my next question.
Yeah, I don't think the guitar centers here have stocked any left-handed guitars on the Chapman range yet.
or in any range almost.
Yeah, there's usually one corner on the shelf in the back.
I mean, when I got there, of course, just like every other guitar center in the world, there was a Strat, a Tele, and I think some little pointy guitar that was left-handed. That was it.
That's 3 times as many as my local one. It's usually one.
Usually have 1 or 3 maybe. So. But other than that, it was pretty cool.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's see how they do. It'd be interesting to see if they it either pulls Guitar Center out of the hole, but that's a lot of guitars.
I think it'll take more than Chapman.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Well, it's just that it's like that day I guess a lot of people knew that was going on, but then there was a lot of people that didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And that particular location, it was fairly busy. A lot of people playing instruments, So it seemed like it was a fairly busy day for a Saturday, but I don't know how many people were buying. So I guess when it comes down to it, how many people are spending that money, I guess that's the bottom line.
I guess the good thing is with the way that the internet works these days, it's all good promo. Millions of people will know that they stock their guitars and they can go play them and all that kind of stuff. So it'll probably work out, pretty well. But, yeah. So what's news with you, Steve?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I like saying that. That's one of my catchphrases. Interesting that you should ask. I did get a little gas a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. A
little bit of gas. And this probably look a little bit familiar to you.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, nice.
Woohoo.
Beautiful. Is that a 52 or is that a Baja?
It is a it's a Mexican. It's not a Baja, but it is a factory special run for Guitar Center.
Okay, cool. I saw those. Those are great.
And I am a huge Keith Richards fan, or as they say, Keith. And I enjoy playing the stuff that they do with open G tuning, and he does open E tuning as well. And just something in my mind's eye said I've got to have a butterscotch blonde telly to play this stuff. So I have my other telly that I just keep in a standard tune, and this one, as a matter of fact, I name all my guitars somehow or other, and this one, of course, is named Keith.
Yeah.
So, so Keith stays either an open G or open E tuning, you know, whichever one amuses me to play, you know, whatever Stone song is roaring through my brain at the moment.
Cool.
But yeah, so it's basically a slightly upgraded standard mechs. Not a whole lot upgraded, but
the finish looks awesome, especially on the neck. It looked
you know what it is?
It's the same as mine.
I'll show it again. I don't know if I can show it that good on it.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's an ash body, so you can see the grain through it really well.
Is it heavy?
No, it's not heavy at all.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you're lucky. Mine's worse than Les Paul.
As a matter of fact, the fellow at Guitar Center is the guy I usually do when I go down there, and he's become a friend over time too, you know. And they had one up on the wall that, you know, had a lot of fingerprints on it and stuff. And I'm like, dude, this thing's been like well handled in the store. He said, but you know, I've got one in the back in a box. He said, you know, would you like me to? I'll grab it if you want. You know, I'll brag it out for you, and you can compare the two of them. And as he's coming out with the box in his hand, he says, "This is really light." He says, "I'm not even sure there's anything in it."
Yeah, wow.
Pop it open, and there's Keith.
Cool. Oh, that's great, man. Congrats.
Keith stays in open G or open E, and the other one, my other Telecaster, which I've named Bubba, stays in standard tuning.
Cool.
Nice.
So, anyone else picked up anything new? I know we got John back here.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
That's all right. It's just a mobile connection, maybe, or something. Who knows?
Could have been.
Did you see my telly, John?
I just caught the tail end of that. But yeah, it looks good, mate. I just heard Shane saying his was pretty heavy. I've got a classic 5, which is a pine body, and it's heavy as anything I've got.
This is an ash body.
Yeah, classic 5s are pretty heavy too.
And you can't pick it up that well on my camera here, but
no, I
the
can see the grain.
butterscotch blonde,
Nice,
you can see the grain right through it. And,
yeah,
you know,
it focuses in and out, but it's nice.
Ash has that great grain to it to begin with.
Yeah,
what else is interesting, because it's a Fender special run. You'll notice that the
it's going backwards. That's nice.
The selector is in the back.
Oh,
it's actually better like that, I reckon. I should do that with mine. I put a slanted switch on mine, so I don't knock it as much. But that's cool.
You know,
subtle.
I had seen I had heard, you know, but other people had, you know, done that to the guitar and stuff. And when I saw this one on there, I'm like, hey, you know, we'll see how it works. You know, I mean, I just sort of got used to where the selector was on standard Bubba. Well, Bubba's an American standard, and but you know, having it in a different spot, you know, you're never sure. You know, when you sort of get used to how things feel, when you get a new feel into something, sometimes it's just like, you know, like. The baseball players, especially the American guys, will understand the expression "a slider in the dirt."
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, something new like that. Sometimes, you know, is just, you know, it's something that you don't deal with, you know, that great for until the hands and brain start, you know, hooking up to say, oh, okay, it's different, but you know, it's still okay.
Did they swap the volume?
It's a common problem.
No, the volume is still in front, and the tone is still the back one.
They just rewire them, so they roll.
Yeah, that's
away.
Nice. I've got one that's been completely just turned, and it's so weird going for the volume in the middle versus where you want to kind of get it to do the quick roll.
Yeah, this has the same feel as if you had just taken the selector and just put it behind the volume and tone. As I say, it's an FSR run for Guitar Center, so. I'm pretty sure you can, not just the Guitar Center by me. I think it's a system-wide thing.
Now they've had it for about a year, I think. A year, somewhere around there. I saw one one in mine for quite a while. It's not
a brand new thing, but you don't. I hadn't seen them in my Guitar Center before, so you know, I was just getting the urge to get, you know, a butterscotch blonde, you know, Keith looking one, and just when I saw this one, I was like, you know, that'll do it. And when I went down and played it, my friend who's the salesman down there plug me into a blues deluxe, which is what I have. And
Yeah,
I was astounded. You know, the BDs are not known for their drive channel. You know, they can be a little fizzy. You know, there's not a lot of gusto on it. But when I put it on just sort of modest settings, Keith Richards came right out of the guitar, you know, without me doing anything whatsoever. So, and we were both grinning like idiots at each other. Like, yeah, man, that'll work.
Yeah, cool, nice stuff. Good, well done.
That works.
Yeah, I've been rocking the Dan Electro 3 lipstick pickup. I'm going to take it out on Sunday as well and have a play with it again. That's the guitar I'm really enjoying at the moment. It's coming up on a few other videos. It's funny actually because you got that. I finally got my 52 reissue fixed. The nut was screwed and there's a few things on there I needed a bit of TLC. I hadn't been playing it at all for like the last 6 months. So it's finally sorted out. It's such a great guitar. It almost felt like a new guitar. That's how good it felt when I got it back from this guy. I put the nut on there. I was like, it felt like a setup new guitar. It was great. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to start pulling out the tally a little more again coming up. It's pretty cool.
What happened to the Stumac repair on the nut that you did?
It was all good. I don't think I'd let it sort of harden enough. So for those who don't know, I did this baking soda super glue trick where you fill it up, sand it, file it, and basically after I changed strings, I kind of thought, oh, maybe it can come down a little bit, and basically it just shattered. So I thought, yeah, I obviously didn't do that correctly, but I like the fix. I think it'll work on certain people will be able to get that to work. I'm hearing some weird cracklies. But it wasn't going to hold. And in the end, I was getting this weird harmonic off it as well. It was like the string sitting on the super glue baking soda thing was a bit weird. Like it was ringing out funny. So it ended up just cost me like $50. I got it fixed. So I thought, it saves a hassle. Picked it up a week later.
Shane, have you ever noticed that the G string on a telly sometimes has a strange harmonic to it? If you pluck it and then silence it really quickly, you put your hand on it. You know, there's always that slight ring for that second or so while the rest of the screen stops vibrating.
I don't know.
I've noticed on a couple of tellies that.
Sounds like it might be the nut, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
It could have been, yeah. I mean, I had a telly a while ago that would do that, and it actually it would ring every time I plucked the string, and I was getting like a double sound out of it. I was getting like the right tone, but with this harmonic sort of aftertaste to it too, which actually made it sound like it was out of tune. I did fix it. I did fix it by simply adding another string tree.
That's what I was going to say.
I had a double string tree on it, and it had knocked it right out.
The other thing that I've had it happen a couple times with these two. This tally's got the brass. Let me just change cameras here. This tally's got the brass nut. Yeah, the brass saddles, I should say. Sorry. And after a good amount of time, the strings literally dig into the steel, into the brass, and that creates like a groove. About once every 2 years or a year, depending on how often I play it, I literally grab like 1200 grade sandpaper and sand the groove out, and then I don't get that harmonic noise coming off the. It's just I don't have any a little bit of groove in there is all right, but if it gets too big, you'll literally hear this weird overtone, and so that's been fixed again, which is good. So
what kind of nut is that?
It's I asked for a bone one, but I don't know what brand the guy uses. I took it back to the same guy who put these stainless steel frets in, just because I trust him, and I just said my only request is don't put a black one in there. I want it to look like it did originally. So
chicken bone nut.
Exactly.
It's the first time I've heard Steve play guitar. Terry, how are you, man? Welcome.
It's funny that you're actually showing off your neck and your nut. I just actually put on.
Here's another one.
Butterscotch Telly Day.
Okay, I don't have a telly. I can't join the conversation here now.
Get on
I
Amazon,
have-
Jamal. Get on
I
Amazon.
haven't actually revealed this on my channel yet, but I got this neck off eBay for like $40. And I just refinished it. And the nut was a little high, so I just sanded it down. And I just got it tightened down so it can glue in place now. So it's kind of funny that there you are actually showing your Telecaster and talking about the nut, and then here I am, I just set the nut.
Oh, there you go. Good
I
stuff.
like the Woodburn logo too, Terry. That's nice.
By the way, folks,
Yeah.
Terry's sponsored by AMD officially now. I think you've got some sort of sponsorship deal going up.
Nice.
Get your shirts in for sponsorship. No, actually, this is part of the VLAN swag bag for the Super Virtual LAN they had a couple weeks back. So if you're one of the first 50, you got the shirt. Actually, I'll just show you quickly.
I really like his solo and carbonite backdrop.
Yeah.
Thing there. That's pretty sweet.
Back to Star Wars.
You got a nice little backpack.
Cool.
And
I told you it's sponsored.
a whole bunch of goodies like that. Mouse mat.
Cool.
Whoa. He's got the
And
bling.
the big one that everybody loves, a fidget spinner.
That's so 2017, man.
I was just like, well, I guess that's for those of us that may be OCD or whatnot, I guess. But no, I spend a lot of time with the on the AMD Twitch and a lot of the AMD community nights. Like just today, we had Quake Champions with a bunch of fellow AMD community folks, and that's what I do. Also, when I'm away from YouTube, is the the gaming thing and gaming with those people and whatnot. It's a good, fun community.
Awesome stuff. No, game. Well, if it makes you feel better, man, I got an old AMD FX. What is it? 8350 or something in my current computer. It's like
That's what I got right now.
old. But it does the job. They're not bad.
Oh yeah. Well, exactly.
Cool. All right, so we've got our Metal Stage podcast has joined. If anyone watching hasn't checked out the YouTube channel, go check it out. It sounds like they talk about only metal, but it's a really cool podcast. So it's streamed on YouTube. So go support them. They're a relatively new channel, and yeah, it's good fun. So we've got Michael here. Welcome, Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no worries at all. No worries. Where are you from?
Boston.
I was going to say, where are you from? Don't tell me. Chicago.
I don't know if I muted you, Nick, or you muted yourself.
No, I just muted myself as I'm scrambling. I was going to subscribe to his channel, and I was scrambling to come back.
That's all right. Sometimes I forget to unmute. So if I do mute, and I didn't remember doing that
No
at all,
worries,
so
man.
that's all right. Yeah. So welcome, man. Boston's a lovely city. It's good.
Yeah, I don't bump into Steve, but he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you got Nick there as well, who's not too far away. He's Nick in the States YouTube channel.
Just out in Natick, man.
Yep.
How far is that from Boston, Nick?
Cool, man. As soon as I jump back over to my other window, I will be subscribing too.
It's funny because you got the Chicago top on, but I'm sorry, Nick.
What's the channel name again?
It's just under my name. Are you talking about the one Shane was talking about before I came in?
Your channel.
Oh yeah, just check the chat. It's called Our Metal Stage Podcast.
Gotcha.
I'll type it into the side here if it's easier. How do I do this? There we go. going to
I
work.
can get it.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
You have another subscriber.
Cool.
You realize, of
All
course,
right, so
if we had an English fellow with us tonight, we would have all
there we go.
major
Thanks, man.
English-speaking countries here.
Yeah, good bunch of guys. They're out of mostly Canada. I think one of the guys might be in the States, but yeah, it's cool. Cool. It's definitely a difference in the accents from Canada to the US. There's you can pick it after a while. Definitely pick it.
There's a few words we say differently.
Yeah, tell us a bit about yourself, Michael. What do you play? What do you?
Just a little bit of everything. Guitar the most, I guess. So.
Cool. Is that a Les Paul back there?
It's an Epiphone, but yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And telly, a couple basses. Just write music in my spare time. Nothing serious.
Looks like you got quite the setup in there, man. It looks good.
Shane, am I muted?
Closet.
Yeah.
We can hear.
Can you hear? Okay.
Oh, I might have muted Steve. Maybe I'm not too sure.
Hey, whatever does the job is all
It's
that
all right.
matters.
It's all right. I can take a hint.
Now let me bring up this.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not. Oh yeah, I did mute him. Sorry, guys. While he was jamming, it was hard to hear everybody, so I pulled his volume down. He's back.
He's back.
That's all right. It's good to actually hear you play. That's the first time I've heard you play.
Yeah, I'm not a showy person with it, and I enjoy playing. I don't mind, having other people listen to me while I play. A little bit shy with it, but there was a day when I would stand in front of a group of people and play, and it was cool. It was very cool.
Awesome.
Well, you definitely have that Keith Richards vibe going on there. You have the chops.
Yeah, it's funny because what his name is Keith, Keith, but in their Cockney accent, the th gets pronounced as an f. So when they talk about it, he's Keith.
A lot of English people do that. I have no idea why. They invented a language that they don't pronounce th words properly. It kills me. I saw an English girl for like 3 years, and man, I was just like, oh, there's a th in that word. I mean, Australian, and I've got to say, like, Australians don't pronounce anything correctly. So doing YouTube actually helped my diction because if you look at my early videos, man, I was like the worst when it came to pronouncing anything. But yeah, those like Thursdays, and I'm like, oh, it's a th there, man. There's no.
If we had an English fellow with us tonight, we would have all the major English-speaking countries.
Yeah.
Right? We got the States, we got Canada, we got Oz. All we need is somebody from
Hey, don't forget about the Kiwis, though. The Kiwis get very, very sensitive if you forget about them.
Very sensitive, yeah.
Or call them Australian.
No, don't call them Australian. Oh, it puts their nose right out of joint.
Don't want to do that.
I'm actually going to be doing a video coming up with the Guitar Geek guy from England. He's got like a relatively small channel. Oh, I don't say small, like probably 6,000 subscribers or something like that. And yeah, you don't see too many English channels. I think everyone just automatically, when they think of English players, they think of Andertons and the group that's within that. But it's good to see some other English channels out there. There's been a few over the years, but none that really sort of hung around that I'm too aware of. It's
hey, you can't forget about Tony Mckenzie with his TonyMckenzie.com hat, which I love. He's funny. If you've ever watched
I don't know if I know that guy.
He is a bit of a character.
Yeah, he's
but
got like
you can't miss him.
I've probably seen his stuff.
You got about an hour to spare in your life. You can watch one of his videos, but they're good. He takes stuff apart. He's good.
Oh yeah, I know this guy. I know who he is. Yeah.
He's great. He's himself. Like, that's Tony.
Yes.
I've had some exchanges with him. He's a good dude. I really enjoy him. But he brings a personality to it, which is kind of fun. He'll share how he thinks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, let me tell you, when I bought this Stratocaster, like it's just like long and drawn out, and at times it's not bad, and then there's other times where you're like ready to go click.
Then there's a guy named Tony Smith. Tony Smith likes to record. He'll do like a 2-hour setup on a guitar or whatever, and post the whole thing. And it's just him in his shed working on his stuff, happily motoring away, doing his thing.
Yeah,
Well,
I know
somebody need to watch do
about.
that stuff. You know, some people you can sit there literally like Nelson from what it says his channel. I can literally watch him set up a guitar. And he don't have to speed it up. He just have him rambling and listen to his girls in the background. I'm mesmerized. I'm watching the whole thing like, wow, do that
I think some people are more like you could just sit there and some people are just more engaging than others. You know, it's just the way that it is. Like Nick's got that. Nick could just be sitting outside for 20 minutes having a chat about something and everyone watches it. So, you know, some people just have that sort of that X factor.
Insanity. That's what I suffer from. But it's somehow the great thing is with that, either it works or it really doesn't for people, and that's fine. Like as long as some people enjoy it, there's plenty of people on the internet. It's fun.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's
for everyone.
Some people for everyone. Yeah.
Like that.
I just actually posted up a link for Sam Deeks. He's the one.
That's the guy.
Posts up. Yeah, he posts up like the longest one I've seen him post up for a video for a setup or whatnot was like 4 hours, I think.
Oh my god!
It was just like, my god, 4 hours. I'm like, but he does a lot of amazing work in regards to like various types of instruments, like you know, everything that's available over there on his side of the world. You know, Gibson, Guild. You know, he's touched it all from as cheap as possible to as expensive as possible. He's ran through it or set it up or did something to it.
He's great too for tips. He's great for tips on stuff. He's like, this Harley Benton, it's kind of a piece of junk. He starts with that, and then he'll throw a couple things in, put a new bridge, do a little adjust, whatever, and at the end he's like, actually, it's not half bad now. It's a pretty good thing. And when you think it's nice because you see him have a relationship with the instrument over the 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's
You know, there's another Canadian fella named Daryl Brunn, I think his name is. He runs a site. I saw him take I think it was like a medium to low grade Epiphone, and he put a bunch of parts on it, and damn if it didn't sound good by the time he got done with it. The folks like this, do they go to school for this, or they just pick it up, you know, here and there, and you know, somebody shows them something? Or
I don't think there is a guitar school. I think it's just literally like, you know, you might
go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some people might work for other builders for a short amount of time or something, or they might work in a shop and they get taught how to do a lot of stuff as well. But yeah,
there are a few, I think, luthier style places up here in Canada, but I think for the most part, everybody's just kind of picked it up.
Just self-taught.
Yeah. That's how I got about doing my stuff with the guitar stuff, was just watching stuff on YouTube. Eventually, once I figured out the prices of tools were coming down cheaper, then I
wasn't sure if you were going to yawn or sneeze then.
I figured I'd cover all the bases.
Oh, I hate that. But yeah, when the tools, like getting the tools over eBay or getting them from Philadelphia Luthier or Stu Mac or whatever, when you start getting the stuff to do stuff, that's like when it's, you know, when it's cheap to access it and you're able to get access to it as well, it makes it a lot easier for you, one, to do the stuff.
Sometimes,
as if you have a desire to do it.
There've been a couple of times
I've touching any of my guitars.
I wanted to do stuff, but I was afraid, you know, to try it. And sometimes I found the tools to do it with, but I looked at it and said, you know, they're not, I mean, horribly expensive, you know, but, you know, if you look at something that's like, you know, $150 US and you're going to use it once and never again, you know, that's a really expensive tool.
All right, here's a good question.
Exactly.
Here's a good question. What was the first song everyone learned on guitar? I'll show you this one. I'll start with this and then you can go around. So first thing I ever learned when I was a kid, and then I didn't touch the guitar forever, it was
oh yeah,
just that riff. Yeah. And then I realized you could go, you can move it around. I was like, this is awesome. So yeah, that was mine. Who wants to go next?
Mine was Stray Cat Strut. Doom, 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 doom,
Oh,
doom,
yeah.
doom, doom. That was my Uncle Jeff listened to that all the time, And it was just, he's like, he showed me that one. And then, of course, I moved it. He's like, no, you're in the wrong key. You got to go. Like, he was very how it had to be played. But that was the one that just, it was just fun.
Probably
Mine was We Got to Get Out of This Place by Eric Burton and the Animals.
Oh, yeah. Good
We
song.
got to get out of this place.
Yeah, wow, that's not
It's the
easy.
last thing we ever do.
How about you,
Of course,
Michael?
Of course, I'm dating myself, so.
Clapton Wonderful Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Guitar lessons.
Cool.
Oh, well, still, that's a good song to learn.
I think I know the riff out of that, and that's about it. Yeah,
Everybody
that's all I
together
know.
now. Light your candle.
Here you go. Here's a
Late
lighter.
in the evening.
All right. What about you, John?
I'm struggling to remember, to tell you the truth. I know one of the early ones was Run to Paradise.
Oh, yeah, cool.
That sort of like kind of good little riff. I remember buying some sheet music. I had that. No Second Prize by Jimmy Barnes. And I had an Iron Maiden tab book that I was just learning all sorts of stuff out of.
I don't think anyone who's on this panel other than me will know who Jimmy Barnes is.
Yeah, I'm like Jimmy Bo.
You got me.
Only because he's
Like
like,
this guy?
he's a Scottish guy famous in Australia, you know, so yeah,
Okay.
he lives here, obviously. He's a great, actually, he did some stuff with Joe Bonamassa recently. He did like some studio sessions, and it's pretty cool. Joe wasn't singing, he was just playing, so it was pretty cool. All right, who's next?
Here's the little one. Hey, Lily.
Homework for everybody, look up Cold Chisel.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, you might actually hear some of their stuff on the radio from time to time over there. I could be wrong, but what about you, Jamal? What did you learn? What was the...
I think, well, when I've actually learned how to actually tune the thing, I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, I got the thing. I said, okay, I know I'm not right-handed, so I flipped it upside down and moved the strings upside down. Well, correct for me. I think I want to say it was either Fire or Purple Haze. It was something Hendrix.
Yeah,
It
wow.
was something off of All You Experience. I'm just talking like the another simple little one over riff. And I actually realized he was doing it on two strings. Like, oh, okay, I thought it was working. But yeah, it was probably Fire. Yeah, it was just one of those things, when you kind of halfway almost figure it out, it was just like, it was amazing,
So Jamal, you got to go get yourself a butter. You got to go get yourself a butterscotch blonde telly now, so you can.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody
so I can join the conversation apparently.
hold it up and show it around. Everybody goes, "Wow, man, yeah."
Yeah, this podcast is actually sponsored by Fender Telecasters. So
butterscotch buns, as a matter of fact.
Exactly. Don't get the wrong color.
Oh, that one, nice.
There's another one.
Hey, is that a rounded corner?
Yeah, that's called a sander.
Oh,
Good move.
very nice. And you got the reverse. Reverse.
It came that way from Guitar Center. It was an FSR.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Might be the same sort of one as Steve's, is it? Same sort of.
Might be out of the same run because they did make them in a couple of different colors.
It's a Mexican Fender.
Right. Yeah. So is mine.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
an X, but it's an FSR from Fender for Guitar Center, and they did make it in a couple of different colors, and that's probably just one of the other colors.
It was the butterscotch yellow, and I painted it after I sanded it.
There you go. There's something to be said for a black Telecaster. You had a white Tele.
I bought one. That was the first guitar I ever bought at Southpaw. It got mismanaged many years ago. I'm still hurt. That's why I'm overcompensating now.
White Tellies are very Dave Mason.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. That was my first foray into the Mexican-made Fenders, and it was like, okay, I had an American Strat and my Mexican Tele. I was like, really can't tell much of a difference between the two. They both felt great.
The only difference I can tell between the Americans and the Mex is that the American necks are a little more finished. The frets are a little less sharp. The edges on the fretboard are a little more rounded over.
Yeah.
But, they both sound pretty good. You know, as I say, the only thing that I notice different is just the feel in my fret hand. And it's, and the mixes being a little less finished doesn't mean that they're not good, because they are.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, absolutely, great guitars. I had someone on I remember maybe on Instagram asked me about, is there a huge difference between the American stuff and the Mexican stuff tone wise? And I said, there's a difference, but it's all subjective to what you like. And I mean, feel wise, that you can play either of them. They're going to be great guitars.
Yeah.
What about you, Terry? I don't think we covered what your first song was.
Out of the good old Mel Bay learning books, Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Nice.
That's the best I could remember.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there too. That was probably the actual first one, right? Like.
Okay, that's really everybody's first one.
I did that too.
I think after that, I actually could tackle some type of Hendrix thing.
those melodies for those songs are great to learn, man. They really they do something to connect the dots. You know, when you learn melody-based songs, like even Mary Had a Little Lamb, 3 notes, but you got to get them right, otherwise it sounds really wrong.
Someone will come by and say, "What the hell was that?" It was Mary Had a Little Lamb. I couldn't recognize it.
I remember
Mary
one of the
had
first
a
ones
little
I worked
lion,
out
little
was
lion.
first TV show thing I worked out was Paint It Black. You know, what's the
Tour of Duty.
Show? Tour of Duty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that was a great song. That in terms of I didn't know. I just thought it was a theme song to a TV show. When I was a kid, I didn't even know it was like a band. I thought it was just the song for the show. But that was a pretty rockin' little riff.
Jamel breaking it, the Monterey Strat.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got the Monterey Strat. Yeah, look at that.
Got the strap. I bought a strap that kind of match.
Ooh, nice.
That's not bad. The only thing I have to fix is that high E string. It keeps choking out after the 12th fret, I think.
Is it a 7 1/4 radius on it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's 7 1/4
like
radius. Guy I know in San Fran, he also
like
bought one.
Yeah.
You got to watch
your
got to watch your string height on 7 1/4. If you try and play them a little too flat, they will choke out on you. But if you can live with a little higher string height, it's in some ways it's a little more finger pressure on the strings, and some guys don't like that. But the 7 1/4 will play much better when you can set them up just a little higher, or give it just a little more relief in the neck, which sort of accomplishes.
Yeah, the bad thing was when the guy who set it up, I left it there. When I got the brown one set up at another Guitar Center, I was there, so he twiddled with it. Goes, "Oh, yeah, how's this?" He left me about a little. Oh, trying to destroy this. He left me with a little bit of string height. I don't know if you can tell. A lot more height on this one, and plus he gave me a little relief as far as I could pretty much bid up a half a note when I pushed the tremolo back. But if I was there, I probably would have had him set it up a little higher, like about pretty much where this one is, because that was really low. And I don't know if it was mainly because of they just set it up low, I guess. I mean, I wasn't there. I guess he figured, okay, well, I'll set up, because he was swamped. He had a guy in front of me, and there was a guy behind me, and he was just like, "I can't get this done today, but you come back, and tomorrow I'll have it done for you." So
one of these days, I'd like to get my hands on a quarter sawn neck just to see how that feels, because they're supposed to be quite stiff.
On a what? Sorry,
quarter sawn. It's the way they cut the log. It's when they have a log to cut, they look at the grain, and if you cut it across, the grain is one way, and if you cut it long ways, you get a whole different grain in the wood. And when it's quarter sawn, like 1.25 quarter sawn, it's supposed to be stiffer.
It's more stabler.
Yeah, it's more stable in weather, like Tara says. And they're pricier than ones that are just standard sawn. And I'd like to get my hands on one of these days and just give it a feel.
It's another reason why there's a lot of people that believe in multi-laminate necks as well, too, because they're more stable.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know, I wanted to say to
that.
John.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't know much about the next. I mean, it works for me right now, and I know if I tweet.
We need a nerd alert
One thing or
siren.
I know. Because until I started watching YouTube about guitar stuff, I didn't even know you had to set the thing up. I thought it just.
There we go.
Nerd alert.
I never knew you had to set the things up. So I mean, I've learned so much just watching other people fix their guitars, and that to realize I used to have my guitar all messed up back in the day.
Well, Will Galvin had tons of videos up, and since he lost his main channel, he's actually been in the process of starting to put all those videos back up on another channel. So he's got all that information.
Minus the drama.
Yeah.
No
He's learned his lesson.
His best video he ever did was the music theory video that he did. It was about 20 minutes long. And he basically explained it. And it was just like, I'd probably have to watch it about 2 or 3 more times, and really study it. It really made sense. And I don't think I've ever had anybody, break down that music theory thing where it would retain and relate to me.
Yeah, well.
So it was just like, as much as there's a lot of tomfoolery that goes on his channel, he has a wealth of knowledge that he provides.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
The builder course inspired me to try to make one.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, I didn't finish because I got allergic to the wood.
What kind of wood was it?
It's mahogany and alder. So
Wow.
actually, that's the one back there on the wall, the base. Somebody finished it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for him to say I didn't finish it because I soldered myself to the tabletop or something.
I meant rosewood. Sorry, not mahogany.
Oh,
wow!
okay.
Look at that.
That's
The
nice.
whole rosewood neck. That neck is beautiful.
Wow.
That looks nice.
But even just picking it up, I'm gonna start sneezing. So,
Wow, that's
gotta suck.
So it's the rosewood you're allergic to then?
And the alder as well, but that's usually coated, so I don't usually notice
Yeah.
that. But a guy named David Gregory online, I was talking about allergies, and he's like, "Just send me the wood, I'll finish it for you." And I had it almost cut out, but he did all the really hard stuff. So
Cool.
It was Will that inspired me. His builder course was great.
I like the body paint too. It looks great. That sort of old school. Yeah, that looks really cool.
Like the racing stripes on it. It's nice.
Yeah, that's exactly
Racing
it. Yeah.
stripes. Yeah, there
Awesome.
you go.
David didn't like that when he painted it, but he did what I asked for anyway.
That looks good.
Nah, that looks nice.
A few people in the chat are saying that the neck looks amazing. So yeah, good stuff.
The hot rod
Something about a
Deluxe
full rosewood neck is beautiful. I don't know. Maybe because it's now because of the CITES thing, you can't transport it. Now it's almost got rarefied air. I must have rosewood. Rosewood everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to John, I saw some of your stuff off your channel with your kids bouncing around when they were young.
Oh.
Your kids were precious, man.
Yeah, no, I forget what's on there at the moment, to tell you the truth.
Something around holiday-ish time, I think. But your daughter was obviously they were a couple of years old.
Yeah, well,
she was precious, just bouncing around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a video of her on a little trampoline. She used to put on her mum's shoes when she was like 1.5, 2 years old. And damn me if she couldn't put these, not that my ex had big feet or anything like that, but obviously for her at the time, they were big, being a kid. And she would just, Landon's here for 20 minutes.
What's up, Landon?
Landon, baby.
Landon! And she'd just run the length of the house, like at full tilt, in these shoes that were like, it'd be like you and me running in diving flippers.
Which is very awkward, by the way. I've tried.
Yeah, I can imagine. But actually, there was one when they were living with me a few months back. We were on a live hangout, and they were Brody kept jumping into the screen and patting me on the head and yelling stuff out.
Kids love to jump into the live stream.
Really, Nick?
You never know, right? Because my daughter's been bouncing on the bed to my left right now. You try and hide, they still hide.
Nick, she looks precious too.
What's up, Landon?
No, she's awesome. Mads is my bud. Evan came in too and just wanted to scream and yell. But
bring her over so we can all say hi to her.
Mads, come over here. The guys want to say hi to you.
Now she won't.
What's her name?
No.
Hello.
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 Hi.
We're the guys that your father hangs out with.
Yeah. Mike, Michael, Landon, Terry.
Wasn't he on Little House of the Prairie?
Michael Landon. I got everybody.
Michael
Cool. Yeah, she goes, I know Shane.
She's like, I watch his videos.
Oh, Nick, I mean, for about 2 years, maybe, I don't know how long I've been watching your channel for, but it dawned on me you looked really familiar, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Just over the years, someone always said to you, man, you look so much like somebody.
Oh, yeah. A lot. So I've gotten everything, though, from, like, Tom Green.
That's exactly who I was talking about. That's exactly who I was talking about. I watched some of his stuff around the early 2000s when he had the same sort of beard. Man, it's not so much in later years, obviously, for him. He sort of blew out and all that sort of stuff.
He fell apart faster than I have, which is good for me.
I started watching some Tom Green stuff. I was like, this looks like Nick.
The first year that I grew a goatee, it was probably in like 97 or something like that. And we were playing softball or football on this field by the water where I grew up. And these girls that were like maybe 15 were like, oh my God, look, it's Mr. Tom Green. Hey, Tom Green. Just teasing the crap. Getting teased by 15-year-olds. This is awesome. Thanks, Tom Green.
So, yeah, I just had to ask him, man. I got on this Tom Green binge the other week, which is something I don't often do on YouTube. It just popped up, and I watched one interview, and I just got stuck watching stuff late at night. And I said, man, this looks like Nick.
I've gotten out. That's the most popular. There's a whole – if you have a channel, I don't know if you get it for yours, Shane, but every like 3 or 4 months, someone will have something different. Like a guy named Paul Soder from Super Troopers is one of the dudes there. There's one of the guys from Reservoir Dogs. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them where they're like, oh, it's this guy, that guy. And I'm like, oh, add it to the list.
Yeah. I don't get that so much these days. When I had hair, I used to get it a bit, but not so much. Not so much these days. So,
Shane, let me tell you something about not having hair. Now, I've been basically bald like this since I'm about 30. And the thing of it is that you look a little older, a little earlier in your life when you lose your hair. But when people haven't seen you for a few years, and then you run into them again, they go, "You haven't changed a bit. You look wonderful." And I'm like, I guess maybe in some sort of strange way, there's an upside to that,
Yeah. I looked 50 when I was 30, and now I'm 50. I look the same. So
now I'm 60. I look like
42.
What's news, Landon? What's going on? Oh, sorry. Who did I cut off? I missed that.
Me. I was just going to say about Nick as well, too. I mentioned to Nick the one time there was a commercial on TV for like Tide or something like that. And there was a guy acting in the commercial that looked, I would swear it was Nick.
I look like a handful of people. Ironically, in high school, I had a person that was my complete doppelganger in my own grade, in my own hometown with like 150 people in a grade. Ryan DiTaccio, who still looks like me. I found him on Facebook the other day just for giggles. I'm like, he's aging just like I'm aging. He's in better shape, but aside from that, like he just got in the military or something. I was like,
well, you can do bad stuff. Blame it on him. Everyone.
Yeah, I did.
Wasn't me, Your Honor.
I can neither confirm nor deny any of that ever happening in high school, but
tell me all about it. I may or may not have been there.
I was going to say that about Shane as well, too. He reminds me of WWE wrestler Cesaro and, of course, Jason Statham.
An Australian Jason Statham.
He's Australian too, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
He's British.
I thought he was English.
He's British?
Yeah.
He plays with his accent, so I could never quite get a...
Shane doesn't realize he's muted.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane, you're muted.
You muted yourself,
You're
Shane.
muted. We can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least, he's a good-looking enough dude. He can make movies, so if that's all right, I'm happy with that. could be worse. Could be worse.
I can imagine all those people that see Shane up on stage. I didn't know Jason Statham played guitar.
There was one, I tell you what, there's
Left-handed.
this gig I did recently. They had this big TV screen in the background, right? This is before I got rid of my Facebook account. And a friend of mine took a photo, and it was me playing guitar, and then Jason Statham on the TV, and he goes, "Oh, look, twins." I'm like, just because we're both bald white guys, man. That's not enough.
It's the final
The
insult.
thing is, too, Shane, I've met both you and Jason Statham in person, and you have at least a foot on him. He's a very little dude.
Oh, is he really?
Really?
Okay.
He's like
I'm tiny.
5'4"-ish, 5'3"-ish. He's
Wow.
It's all
probably
camera
good, but he looked tiny.
And Nick's like 7'3" or something. He's huge. Like, how tall are you, Nick?
I'm
Dwarfed
only like
everybody.
6'2".
Taller than me.
So I was going to ask Landon, what was his first guitar song? Because we were talking about that before. What was the first one you remember learning?
I think Silent Night.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, very traditional.
Seriously, something like basic.
Another classic.
Wow. I don't know. It was the easiest thing I could learn, I think, at the time. Anyways.
Yeah, cool.
You know, when we're just talking about pictures and who looks like who, I just had to have my passport picture redone again, and I just got it back in the mail the other day. I look like somebody who actually needs to be on the no-fly list.
Oh.
I looked at the picture and said, if I were like one of the TSA guys, I wouldn't let me in or out of the country. It looked like in the post offices here in the States, they used to have like the 10 most wanted people up on the wall. It looked like I belonged, up by like maybe 2 or 3. I was number 1 last week, but I had a slow week, so.
I just had to renew my. Oh, sorry.
Jamal will have to put you on the list. Get him to use his connections.
I gotta worry about myself.
Right. I just renewed my passport.
Please vouch for me, all right? Don't look at him. He's all right. I know him.
It's fine. I just renewed my passport. My last one was from when I was 21, and now I'm 41. And it was like, I think I might have had like frosted tips to my hair. Like I had bleached it a little to be cool 98 degree style or whatever was cool in 1998 or 9 or whatever it was. And now I've got like a scraggly beard, bags under my eyes. The hair has gone back, and it just is like, look at this. This is a promising kid, and this is a dad. Like, it's just no holds.
You made the transition.
Completely. Like that's 20 years right there. Boom, boom.
Well, my picture looks like he went past dad some time ago.
Oh, man.
I got you all beat. This is my photo from my driver's license before I cut my long beard off. See if I can.
Oh, it's Charlie.
He looks like Mad Dog Steigelman.
That beard was down to like about here.
That is the how many kilometers to his cabin like picture. Like that guy lives in the woods. That's an impressive, awesome beard.
So how many bodies do I got out there?
As many as I can get.
So I sent the link to our Metal Stage podcast before, but obviously they might not have got it. I'm not too sure who manages that YouTube account or who manages the or whatever. So we'll organize to have them on next time maybe as well because we've got about 20 minutes or so left. So anyway, good channel, guys. Go check them out. But
subscribe.
Yeah, it's good chat. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I listen to a lot of different styles and what I play. So for me, it's kind of cool. I don't do a lot of new stuff, which is good. It's all like older stuff, which probably is called dad rock now for what metal guys consider metal now. But it's good.
Oh, hey,
I wonder if there'll be a day where.
You guys want to see?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's a new guitar.
I'll grab it. Just you guys go ahead and talk. I'll be right back.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, just going back to that, there was that song a few years ago where they said, "When did Motley Crue become classic rock?"
Yeah.
91.
Seriously.
91. Oh, God.
All right, here we go. The
I don't know
reveal.
how this is. I don't know how this is going to show up. It's kind of dark in here, and I'm not in my regular room.
Oh, we can
This
see.
is
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I like the color.
it's Lake Placid.
Is that an Inca silver or is it a blue?
Blue, Lake Placid.
Like
Nice.
Placid Blue, yeah.
LPP.
Yeah.
It's a nice color.
HSS.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you guys were talking about the Mexican. So this is Mexican, obviously. The I got a Pro American Pro Telly in the fall, right? So I'm familiar with the neck on that, and this is really, really similar. Like the finish and the workmanship on it. I don't know if you can see the gloss. It's got a high gloss on the front and then a super satin on the back. It's amazing,
beautiful.
neck. Like
I thought the finish on the necks were good. The only thing that I find that just bothers me a little bit, it's just a little bit sharp on the fret ends and just a little bit sharp on the edge of the fretboard. It just like it's like a
doesn't quite
there's no rollover on it.
yeah, that's probably the only difference. I don't have the sharp fret ends at all, but the
Well, not sharp, but not sharp where it hurts. I mean, just sharpen up where you sort of just are aware of it from time to time.
Feel it? No.
And then
Hey, Landon, did you buy that new?
yeah, I just got it.
Oh,
So-
okay. Okay.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Then I've seen people complaining about the high gloss on the fretboard, but I'm like, you don't really touch that. You don't.
No, it looks good. I reckon it looks classy. Nothing wrong with that.
You see that? It's so shiny.
It's great.
Yeah.
And it's like a sparkle.
Why would people complain about that? I don't get that.
know.
What?
You're not-
It doesn't make any sense.
Like you're not like
I think
pushing the strings out of the way and touching the wood. Right?
No, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Sometimes the gloss on the back of the neck's a little problematic because if your
This
hand
one's
gets a little sweaty, it sort of sticks a little.
This one's all satin, like super satin.
Satin is nice. Satin's the best.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's loaded with the humbucker in the bridge. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't love. I've always wanted a Strat, and I had one last year, and I just some part of me needs a humbucker somewhere. I don't know why. On a Strat, anyways.
That's why I do hot rails.
What's that?
I do the hot rails for that, so they can stick them in the same spot.
Oh, okay. How do you like the hot rails? I've always thought of them. I never.
So on the bridge pickup on that one, that's a new bridge too, not the stock.
Okay.
You see, there's two, and you just switch it.
Okay.
Single. But I do that to the Strats too.
Cool.
I got a hot rails in one of my Strats and had it there for ages. It's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, Nick. I just had to mute you, man. You were crackling like no.
Sorry. I thought I was muted before I jumped, but apparently I wasn't.
That's all right.
So, anyways, the story is I went in looking at those Squire contemporaries. That's what I was interested in, and then I tried a few of them, and one of them actually it was a Strat, a red one with the candy red, had the matching headstock.
Yeah.
And on the back, the skunk, the little stripe here was sticking out. I could actually feel it.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, no. Every time I touch that, I would feel that and hate it. And then I saw this, and then I was like, I can get this, and I don't even need to upgrade anything on it. It's a few hundred more, and I'll be happy with it just the way it is, right? So
cool. Yeah, I actually have got a demo coming up of the Squire Contemporary Tally with the two humbuckers, one that I shot. I thought it was built pretty well. The fret edges weren't great, but otherwise, I didn't notice the skunk stripe thing. That sucks.
That's the only one. I've played 5 of them, all the different models, and that was the only one.
Landon, can you split the coil on that humbucker?
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? That's the interesting thing on this. I'm going to do a demo about.
I had one just like it that I never managed to bond with.
So it's not. So this is the thing. It's you can tap. So first selection, you can tap into the neck, and it's neck middle. Then it's middle only. The 4th position is middle and the top only. Cool. So it's not the full humbucker. And then 5th is the humbucker.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is.
Well, that's interesting.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a new thing or if that's something they've always done. I don't know.
I had one like that about a year ago. As I say, it was a nice guitar, but for some reason or other, I never bonded with it, and I wound up trading it in on something else.
I think that sort of switching's on the Ibanez's as well. Whereas when they got the humbucker, single humbucker, in the in-betweens, you're only using one coil of the humbucker.
John, you switched to your potato phone, mate.
What happened?
You switched to your potato phone.
My
Your
potato phone.
your pitch quality just drastically went downhill. I'm not sure.
You know what's probably happened, mate? The phone. I'm in the car.
Oh, that's better now.
Man.
That's better. It's better.
It overheated before.
Yeah, it was. It kind of just went like a blurry image. It was kind of funny. That's all right.
Yeah.
So they call it
now. It's pretty hot.
Potato phone, meaning like
my phone
not
does that
good.
too.
Yeah. That's all right.
But
cool, man. Nice guitar.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's cool. So
You know what, guys,
It's-
too,
to
in
me,
the final analysis, too, is it really, it's not really important how much money you spent on it. It's how much you enjoy playing it.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, it's the neck. Honestly, it's the neck. In the past few years, I've noticed the neck is the most important part to me.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I
what's in
agree.
here.
I agree.
You can swap everything out. The body is, you want it to look nice and the headstock and everything, but it's how that feels, right, when you grab it. So
Yeah.
That's why when I got my 52, that was the thing that sold it. I picked it up and I just went, oh man, this neck is like nothing else I've ever owned, So
Is that a U neck on your 52, or is it
It's
like more of a just
call it a vintage.
Vintage
no,
soft
vintage?
beat?
No, I've forgotten what it's called.
Because this is a U.
I've had it for so long, I've forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a U neck. This was really thick.
which one is that,
compared to the
Jamal?
other two.
Is that the Jimi Hendrix?
This is this is my custom shop,
I
69
didn't see
Strat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This has got the fattest. It's really wide on the neck. I don't know
Yeah.
if yours, Shane, is just deep and wide, or is it just thick on the butt end? I guess that's a bad word for it, but
I'm trying to.
but that neck, that neck is this seems like it's wider. Oh, it is wider than the V-neck and the little 60s profile neck on the
It's a
Monterey
U.
Strat.
It's a U shape. There you go. Vintage.
Okay, so
yeah,
they're
U.
both U. Okay,
That's a U.
so I'd probably be comfortable with that one as well. It took me a while to get comfortable to a U shape because I wasn't used to it. I was always I guess the standard Strats come with like a C-shaped neck.
Yeah, modern C.
This is
normally.
a
Modern C, yeah. So when I got that,
Yeah.
I got the black one first. And I got that U neck and it scared the crap out of me because I hadn't played in a while and it was so big. And I was like, am I gonna be able to play this thing? And, it took me a while to get used to it. And then I got the V neck and that one's really comfortable to play. But still, I still go back to the big 69 one because it's slightly uncomfortable, but uncomfortable in a good way. Just kind of challenges me a little bit, when I play it.
That's cool.
If I remember correctly, I think the 60s necks are supposed to be ovals.
Yeah, this was definitely
Because I know my
different
68 reissue, made in Japan Strat, my first guitar I bought with my own money, it had an oval. And if you look over Fender's website, when it talks to anything 60s wise, it says the neck profiles are ovals.
Okay.
I just had someone ask me about have I ever heard Michael Burke's The Blues Player? He's one of my favorites. If you've seen my wall, he's the guy. Oh, hang on. Sorry. He's the guy with the flying V there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm a big fan. And I think for some reason the camera makes him look like a lefty, but he's not.
Hey, gents, I got to jump off. My battery's about to die, and I got a little girl's got to go to bed. But, Landon, SSH Strats are a hell of a lot of fun.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
That's that American Select one they did a few years back. That my lovely local Guitar Center. It's got a great neck. Feels awesome. They marked it as an American Special and priced it accordingly.
Okay.
So
It's got the headstock on it?
it's got the black headstock.
The big headstock.
No,
it's
it's
a
got
normal
the
size one.
standard.
Standard
But it's
headstock,
a-
okay.
But it's a mahogany body, so it's like a Fendery Gibson or Gibsonery Fender, where you've got the black headstock, cherry thing, all the stuff. So it's kind of nice. My SG likes hanging out with it.
Now we'll all have to get one.
Yeah. Everyone needs an SSH Strat.
Now look what you started.
This has that
Now
funky
we're gonna
S1
tell
switching
you, and
now.
now we're gonna.
Oh yeah, but it's got S1 switching with the humbucker, and I cannot tell you how it lines them up when you switch over S1. It's kind of funky to figure out, and they change it every
With a
couple of years.
screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to just trace it, figure out what the hell's going on. So, but I got to jump. This is awesome. Thanks again, Shane, for putting it on. These are always really great
Awesome
times.
seeing you,
Nice
Nick.
to see you.
No worries, man.
Here and otherwise.
Exactly. But,
all right.
So yeah,
cool.
when I was looking at the strats, how do you say it there? Pa Pharaoh, the
Pharaoh,
yeah.
Who's it? Anyways, they're $50 more for the same guitar now in Canada. So they're probably about 30 more in the States. Or 50.
In Australia, 300 more.
Yeah, it's sad but true, man. It's brutal.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Steve from Boston made me laugh.
I'm not sure about those power pharaohs. I was under the impression that they play, God forbid we get into the tone wood discussion, but supposedly they play a little brighter.
It's rubbish.
They play more like Nathan. Yeah, I don't know.
Realistically, the strings aren't even touching the fretboard.
Exactly.
They're touching the frets. So, this is Cal Pharaoh, and I didn't even it doesn't even look any different. It just
not really. It really
it's a little lighter. I think it's a little bit lighter than.
Maybe, but it doesn't. The grain looks the same. It just it does maybe look a little bit lighter. It could just be this guitar too.
Chocolate.
But I don't know.
There's variations in rosewood as well.
It would change it.
Exactly. Right, that's just a little grain difference. I mean, if you physically look at it, mine's a little lighter on part of it, but it's just that Paul Pharaoh. That's rosewood.
Was it Steve from Boston on his channel? He was calling it Feng Shui. He's
I
don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. He was doing the review of the Squire Contemporary Strat, and he said it's actually rosewood still on those ones. It's not the Pharaoh or Feng Shui or whatever.
I wonder if that's just a thing for the States. I'm not too sure whether that's a global thing or not. Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it's probably affects some countries, right? Obviously, Fender had to change over, obviously, because they're a big country. Yeah. And they might only have a limited amount of rosewood.
Well, I thought it affected everybody.
Put out a standard, if you look, the standard series is the more commonly produced series, for mass production than, say, the American series.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they'd have to switch away from rosewood for that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the other reality is, too, is everyone saying about the Paulo Ferro, well, talking about tone-wise, well, that was Stevie Ray Vaughan's, fretboard wood for years upon years.
But we know that Stevie Ray just relied heavily on his pedals, mate. It had nothing to do with his playing. That's how I got that.
It was a hat, really.
I thought that was U2's The Edge.
We're getting literally the arse interview there, Jamal. What were you doing, man?
Jamal behind.
You just moved YouTube.
Yeah, he moved us all.
Oh, my apologies. Oh, boy.
What a friend.
That'll be the thumbnail.
That'd be funny if it did become the thumbnail.
All right, I tell you what. Let's take some questions here because we've got a few more minutes left. So, anyone? I know I've maybe not been keeping up with all the questions in the chat, but feel free to ask them from here on out, and we'll take some questions. Hey, Hutch from BA, welcome, man. Got to jump on the live stream again at some point. Be good to have you on.
Yeah, we haven't seen Hutch in a while.
Nah, it's been ages. I still see him post and stuff on YouTube, but yeah, it'd be great to have him back on at some point. It's been probably a good couple of years, I think. Must be close to 2 years, I reckon. Or a year and a half. Yeah. So, this Wilkinson Tremolo, man, is a interesting sort of thing. I took the strings off this guitar, and the bridge fell out. It's really weird. It sort of sits in. It's really hard to see here, but
a knife edge.
The tension keeps it sort of mounted against here. So you got to be really
the same as the Floyds.
Yeah, I've never experienced these before. So I just do what I normally do: take the strings off, and I'm good to go. And then the whole thing fell apart. I actually had the back off it as well because I wanted to see what the deal was with it, and it just literally just came apart. And I was like, oh no! Hopefully I can put it back. It was easy to fix, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise.
Shane, did you trim block your white Strat?
Yeah, I got given an extra spring from the shop, and I just
made it tight.
set the yeah. I think there's. I could be wrong. I think I got 5 springs in there. So
I didn't open my.
I got 5 of my black ones.
Just added the tension. I didn't do anything else. I find with strats that's fine. Like I don't necessarily. I think on my old 50s, whatever my other Strat was, I had a piece of something put in there, but with this Strat, I don't need to. So there's only 4 springs. My mistake. Okay. 4, but the tension on the screws is pretty high. So, and I play it.
This one, it's way down there. It's flush on the body.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I can still lift it up if I want to, but
right?
I rarely use it myself.
Only when I use it on PRS, really. That seems to work really well. That one and this one actually works pretty well too. But yeah, this Strat I've never used the tremolo arm. I don't even know where it is. Oh, okay. So Jimmy says, have I seen any PVXXLs in my future? I don't know that amp actually. PV XXL. Oh, okay.
High-gain metal, I believe.
Yeah, it's probably not my sort of style. I'm learning some White Zombie riffs just to mix it up on my channel. So I'm going to surprise a few people coming up.
There we go.
Doesn't sound so good.
That would be funny if you went blues and then you went automatically into like the White Zombie thing. That'd have everybody going, "What the?"
Yeah, I think one of Fender's best commercials for the Mustang when that came out was some dude. He started off playing like a really nice piece of music, and then he just shred and like be really heavy, chunking stuff. Oh, was that what? Yeah, it was awesome. And then he'd go back into this nice thing, and then just start shredding again. I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I want to buy one.
Sonia says, if you're enjoying this awesome hangout, please give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Thanks for also helping moderate the chat. We've got our other moderator, Terry, on the hangout. What's going on, Terry?
And actually, I noticed Lando is now a mod as well, too. So you got
a pro mod.
3 of your mods, actually, if you include
absolutely. Sorry, I totally forgot. I think it's good to have a few people that you trust on hand. If they're around, it's great. So,
it's good to have somebody. I was
that's
watching,
something.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lando.
I was saying Pete Thorne. You guys watch Pete Thorne? He does a live stream every Sunday, and he doesn't have any mods at all.
Oh, wow.
So he had somebody last week that was being a total asshole, and he was just letting it go, and people were laughing about it. But yeah, you need somebody, right, just to get rid of them.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just a good thing to keep on top of because it's hard. Like when you actually go to, like I'm controlling the camera occasionally on here and trying to read things. It's hard to sometimes, keep on top of everything. So
being the person doing the cast and then trying to read side chat and try to get any kind of crap that's in the side chat away, it's impossible. One of the things that I was going to actually say in a video was, to me, I think ideally you should have probably 3 mods. So in case if one's not able to show up or 2 of them are not able to show up, you at least have someone else there to actually, do the side chat for you.
Yeah, I think I got 3, maybe 4. I'm not too sure now because I did have a few of the other guys helping out, but I kind of cleared a few guys out a while back. But anyway, it's all good. It's been fine. So today's been great. Let's see if there's any questions here. What do I think about solderless wiring kits with solderless pickups or solderless if we're not pronouncing the L's?
No, you're saying it right. We say it wrong. We leave the L out. We say so. We had this discussion before. In the States, we say solder.
Yeah.
And Shane was asking me, says, why don't you guys use the L? I said, that's the way I was taught to say it.
Don't need that L. It's extra.
Actually, we're just ignorant. We're just ignorant. No excuse.
I haven't actually
slightly lazy.
I haven't actually personally used them before for myself. All my guitars are just the conventional, you got to solder the pickups in. So, yeah, I haven't had a lot of experience with those things, but I like the concept of it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, they kind of click in. You can click the, I think Fishman are doing it, and I think even Gibson are doing some of those in some of their guitars now as well. I could be wrong, but
EMG.
Sorry,
go ahead, Landon.
Oh, I've used twice. There's a company, New Zealand company, Obsidian Wire. They sell the kits, and I've used two, and they're really easy to set up. Like, it's basically a little groove, and you just put your wire in, and it clicks in, and that's all you do. I don't know if it's exactly what he's talking about.
Gibson is very similar.
I think I've seen that before. I think Tony Mckenzie used that on one of his builds. That wires that you're talking about, Landon.
Yeah, it's clean, and they're not cheap. Like, you're going to spend a little bit more, but if you want something fast and you don't have to know how to solder. I like to do both. I can do either one, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I can say in my own
good for someone who hasn't invested in the tools for it.
Yeah, you need the tools, right? And you got to practice because it can get messy if you're not good at it. Like, you got to learn what you're doing first.
I can say in my own experience, I have done 2 Guitar Fetish quick connects.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and one I actually pre-bought a pre-assembled pickguard, so I really didn't have to do much in regards to that. They pre-plugged everything in.
Yeah, that's right.
In the other instance, I actually tried to do their Red Active humbuckers, and that was a mess because they even had the guy on their end test the stuff, and he tested it, everything worked, he packaged it all up, still connected. I did it, put it into the guitar I was trying to put it into and have it in. It didn't work for some reason. I was not getting like a full thing. So, I mean, in regards to companies like that, again, I think it was EMG started it, and then Guitar Fetish, couple other companies. Seymour Duncan, I think, also has a version of that now too. The Fishman. There's quite a few companies that are doing it now.
Do you think
Not to mention, like,
making a difference for sound or anything, or is it just really a convenience thing?
It's more of a convenience, I would say, more than anything else.
I'm not going to sound
same thing as like Landon was saying with those Emerson kits. It's very similar to the PCB board in the Gibson. You know, it's just a matter of making sure your wire's exposed enough. You stick it in, make sure it's in, and simple.
Yeah.
They're so easy. They do themselves by themselves. I don't know. My stupid video. I do the stop motion animation where you put it
for the people that can actually do soldering. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's plug and play basically. They don't advertise it that way, but it is basically.
Would it make it really easy to change pickups? You know, if you have your just plug and play setup on it. Just I don't like the ones I have in there. I'm going to try something different. In they go.
Yeah, it saves. What I really hate doing, like, I don't mind soldering. I've built a few pedals and fixed a few guitars over the years and stuff, but I really don't like working on the switches. That for me is like where I'm like, where was that cable? So if not having to mess with that, just being able to click another pickup in would be pretty cool. I got to say, I like the idea of that. Where did I put them? I've moved them. I had my Joe Barden pickups out the other day, and I was like, oh, kind of reminiscing of the good old times where there was no buzz. So
what are you planning on doing with those pickups?
Joe Biden. That's what I thought you were always saying for years.
Yeah. I think it
could be worse. Everyone could be saying Joe Madden. What the hell does Joe Madden have to do with pickups? He's a football guy.
Yeah, I kind of miss those pickups in some ways. I love the single coil thing, but in this room, it's problematic sometimes. So, especially if I'm using distortion pedal. Yeah.
Door. That was awesome because I heard door. I'm like, he's saying door.
I thought I better put that on screen because I figured that's what everyone will hear. And when I said it, I went, "Oh, I'm gonna have to put an annotation up now." So yeah,
that's actually where Guitar Fetish is actually taking their interconnect system to the next level now, where they got something called Quick Connect, where they got, instead of it being like a regular plug like the EMGs and that, it's actually a headphone like jack. And all you got to do is just go like that, and then the wires run out to the rest of the system that you can either solder in or hook into their Quick Connect system that they already have in place. And they've got most of their pickups converted over for being able to buy both solder in and Quick Connect systems.
I missed that. Sorry, my phone was causing some problems then on my computer, and I missed everything you just said, Terry. So I'll just nod and smile. All I could hear was this USB connection thing going off in my eardrums. But anyway, sorry.
I actually did a similar thing with my Strat. If anyone's seen the picture I've got of the one with the mirror on the front, when I did that, I used actually one of those like headphone style connectors to the jack, so I could actually just unscrew the whole pick guard, take it out, put the other one back in, click, and I'm done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clean.
That's quick and convenient.
All right.
Down and dirty.
I don't want to take any of my pickups out of my guitars yet, so I'm good with what I got right now.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to be, I reckon. Like, sometimes you can just get a really good, you learn to work with what you got as well. And if it sounds good already, don't go down the black hole of trying to find something better, because odds are you'll end up going back.
Yeah.
Slash Joe Buttons.
It's not about finding something better. It's finding another one.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want another Strat. Oh, I technically got two now, but why I don't want another Tally or anything, because I'm like, odds are it's not gonna. It's different isn't always better either. So I'm happy with mine. These are I don't know. We'll see what happens with these. Kind of miss these pickups. All right.
Like the Zex coils and everything else.
You need the Square Classic vibe and just stick them in there.
That was the other thing I had planned, but then I was like, then which one would I play more? The one with the Bardens or the ones without it? So one guitar.
What you needed at the time.
Yeah, one guitar. I like the pickups I got in there. The MJS sound great, but like I said, the buzz, it's just no fun. I might try just putting I love the bridge pickup in that guitar especially, so maybe I'll just put the neck one of these in and see if I can get a good happy balance between.
Or you can get one of those Harley Benton T52s like I got and put the pickups in it.
I think the pickups are worth about 3 times more than the guitar, but it might be worth it. Yeah, someone asked just why did I take those pickups out? Because I played a custom shop Tally. There was this black one with the Relic Telecaster, and it sounded so much better. Like, it was unbelievable. So I kind of went, you know what? I'll try the single coil thing. And I like the tone I get with this live. It's just I was trying to do a distortion demo, and like I got the Fender pedals here at the moment. And it was like, it's next to unusable almost, just having that. They don't handle the higher gain stuff at all. And that's expected, but I don't mind rocking out from time to time. Most people play Tally's pretty clean, but I don't mind having a bit of extra gain. And that's when these things really start to shine, because they can handle it like nobody's business. So, we'll see what happens. I've got them out just as a constant reminder. So we'll see. So I might I'll put it to a vote. And
they beckon to him, put me back.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I reckon we might wrap it up pretty soon. I don't think there's any questions here that I have missed. So if anyone else has anything they want to add, feel free before we wrap it up. But, yeah.
I have one real quick question. I was thinking about, I've been busy, so I've really had a chance to use that Incredible V yet. Because I was thinking about, and I'm just spitballing here, putting it in my effects loop. And
my
Marshall. Yeah, this Donner.
Yep.
The Incredible Vehicles. It's a cab simulator. I was thinking of putting it in my effects. Do you think that would work to kind of get that balance of the cab sim, or I could just put it in my regular chain?
I reckon try them both. I think in the effects loop, it'll probably give you a closer to, like, if you, I would say you probably get a better sound running it in the effects loop. I've never tried it. A lot of guys message me and they say, oh, you know, I bought this or that, like either the Joyo ones or these. They say, yeah, run it into the effects loop. It sounds better. I haven't tried it, so there'd be nothing to stop you from giving it a go. My only suggestion would be start with the volume on the pedal all the way down and just incrementally bring it up. Because it might get ridiculously loud pretty quickly. So just because.
You know what, out of my dog.
yeah. But give it a go, man. What do you think of the Dan Electro?
Like I said, I've been so busy, I just haven't got a chance to plug everything up there. I got everything kind of set up here. Got a nice little workbench.
Oh yeah, nice.
Pedals and all that stuff. It's just a matter of just taking time out of the day and just saying, hey, I'll put all this stuff together and just make some noise.
Just work a short 15-hour shift, mate, and you'll be good. Just
take an hour off.
All right.
I'll give you a good Dan Electro story. When you put those Dan Electro pedals up on the Patreon, I said, oh, I'll grab one of them, and I sent you an email straight away. But I actually just hit reply, and I sent the email to Patreon.
Oh,
and that's why you never got it, and someone else bought it.
Yeah, Jamal, I think. Well, he got the overdrive. Is that right? Yeah.
Pride of Texas.
Yeah, cool, man.
I was going for the spinning speaker one, but never mind.
You're all gone. Sorry, dude.
That's all good.
Excuse me.
All right,
I like
so
that name, Pride of Texas.
The next hangout like this will be in a couple of weeks. So if you maybe 2 or 3 weeks, something like that seems to be around the rough schedule now. So if you want to be a part of it, just email me at intheblues@outlook.com. And I'll chuck you on the email list. There's no pressure to join or stay as long as or as short as you want either. So the only thing is with this, there's only a 10 slot maximum too. So just keep that in mind. If it's full, it's full. But yeah, thanks for everyone hanging out. Michael, thanks for joining in, man. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah,
nice
thanks
to meet you, Mike.
Hey, no worries at all.
Thanks.
Pleasure meeting you.
And Terry, appreciate it. Steve.
Yep.
Landon, John, and Jamal, who mooned the camera. It's the thumbnail, man. You got to.
Terry's on fire.
You realize that's burned into my retinas now.
Oh wow.
No, it's awesome. I'm going to put a time code just to that moment on the thing. Sonia, thanks for helping moderate the chat as well, and everyone who's joined in. It's been great. So feel free to give the video a thumbs up as always if you enjoyed it. And great to see some regulars in the chat. And let's do it again soon. Cool. All right. Well,
we'll be here. Send us the email.
All right. We'll get the email. We'll get on.
Just sitting at my desk waiting every time. Just waiting.
Weeks on end go by. No time to shower or eat. Just hang out.
Just waiting on the live
sit there at
stream.
my desk and I wait.